Hello everyone. So in this session we are starting the next class cyclostomata, class chondritis and class osteichthyes. So these three classes today we are going to learn. In the last session we started with the Hemichordata, phylum Hemichordata. The example comes under Hemichordata is Balanoglossus. After that we saw the describing features of chordata, phylum Chordata, and also we studied the three subphylum comes under Chordata. The one is Urochordata, also known as Tunicata, second one is Cephalochordata, and third one is Vertebrata. And the Cephalochordata and Urochordata, they both also known as protochordates, and we have only seen the examples of Tunicata and Cephalochordata. And after that we go to the Vertebrata. The Vertebrata, we studied the descriptive features of Vertebrata, and after that we saw the two divisions comes under Vertebrata. One is out of two divisions, the first division is Agnatha, the second division is Gnathostomata. The first division, on what basis the Vertebrata has been classified into two divisions? On the basis of presence and or absence of jaws. So in the Agnatha, they do not bear jaws. In the Gnathostomata, they bear jaws. So in the Agnatha, it has only one class known as Cyclostomata. Example for this is Petromyzon. Common name is lamprey, Petromyzon or lamprey. Mixin, one more example is mixin. Common name is hagfish, H-A-G, hagfish. So in after the class Cyclostomata, so the division Gnathostomata, it has two superclass. One superclass is Pisces, the second superclass is Tetrapoda. The superclass Pisces include two classes, one is Chondritis and osteichthyes, and one more superclass Tetrapoda. It includes four classes. First one is Amphibia, second one is Reptilia, third one is Aves, fourth one is Mammals. So this is how it has been classified into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 classes. So all these classes are important, and remember one thing, you are going to study the characteristic features of class, not about the phylum. So phylum are like Porifera and Cnidaria, Coelenterata, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, and what is that? Arthropoda, mollusca, and Echinodermata, Hemichordata, Chordata, Vertebrata. All these are the phylums. And if they ask you to write the characteristic features of any of the phylum, you have to write, and you have to write the examples also. And after that, so here what I am starting here is all about the class Cyclostomata. So this class, as the name of the division, Agnatha, it means what? Agnatha, division Agnatha means, Agnatha means they do not possess, they do not bear jaws. So if the jaws are not present in the organisms, how they are going to have the food and the organisms? So for that they have a special feature known as a circular and sucking mouth. On being on other fishes, on being on big fishes, what they used to do, they used to suck the nourishment. How they look? They somewhat look So this is the petromyzon. The petromyzon. So we'll start studying this is the petromyzon. We'll start studying the characteristic features of petromyzon or the class Cyclostomata. These organisms are known as ectoparasite. Ectoparasite means what? The ecto means outside, parasite means sucking the nourishment and spreading diseases. We can say that. So ectoparasite in sense, these type of animals, they used to sit on other large fishes, and on that, being on that fishes, they used to suck the nourishment. So that's why they have called these animals as ecto, not endo. Endo means it should enter inside the body. It is not going to enter inside the body. It used to sit on the large fishes. That's why it is known as ectoparasite. They bear circular and sucking type of mouth. So they do not bear jaws. So because of the absence of jaws, how they engulf the food, how they swallow the food, they used to suck the food with the. So this is the circular mouth, and they divide. So let me tell one more thing here. The notochord is persistent. So inside the body, if the notochord is present, it will be a persistent one. Now, what is persistent? Persistent means something which is not notable, not a identical one, not it is not doing any that much important work, we can say. So the persistent notochord means the notochord is not going to play a very important role and all. That's why they have given the name as persistent. And they devoid of fins and scales, paired scales. They devoid of paired fins and scales. Devoid of, devoid in sense the scales means what, my dear students? Scales are somewhat which is present on the skin of the organisms. These scales, it used to protect the body. So these type of scales are absent, and also paired fins. Usually when we see the fish, it usually have the two a pair fins, pectoral fin, pelvic fin. Those kind of fins will be present in other fishes, but here only single fins are present, not a paired one. Paired means it should be present on both the side, but here only one side fins are present. That's why they have given paired fins and scales are absent. It will be devoid of paired fins and scales. The circulation is closed type. Closed type of circulation takes place inside the cyclostomata, class cyclostomata organisms. Closed type of circulation means what? The blood is going to flow inside the vessels. Okay, that's why they have given. So it is known as circulation is internal. Circulation is closed type. So one more is there. Now coming to the name of this animal is petromyzon. So no, don't write the scales and all here. When, so basically the organisms are found in marine water. Okay, so they are marine forms. At the time of spawning, at the time of spawning, or if it want to spawn, what they'll do, they used to migrate to the freshwater bodies. There it lay eggs. After the hatching of those eggs, and after the hatching and after the metamorphosis is nothing but development is indirect. First, primarily the egg will release, and after that fertilization occurs, and then that zygote comes to the larval stage, and after the larval stage it grows into an adult one. So this is known as indirect development or metamorphosis. So these organisms being in marine, at the time of spawning, at the time of breeding, they migrate to freshwater bodies. Soon after spawning means after laying eggs and all, these organisms dies. Okay, so after that, these organisms, the parents one will be die. The larva, now the larva, whatever the larvas are present in the freshwater bodies, they after the formation of larva, when they come to this stage, these larvae again they move back to the oceans, or again they move back to the marines. First of all, these petromyzon, they migrate to freshwater bodies for the spawning, for the breeding, and there itself they used to die. And then after the spawning, whatever the larvas or the eggs and larvas produced from these organisms, they again move back to the marine water bodies. Okay, so this is how the cycle goes on in the petromyzon or class Cyclostomata. They have 6 to 15 pairs of gill slits. So these are all the what I am going to draw here. What I am showing you here is the gill slits. The gill slits will be 6 to 15 pairs. One pair will be on this side, one more pair will be on that side. These gill slits help the petromyzon for respiration. Okay, so gills are for respiration. So that's all about the characteristic feature of class Cyclostomata. Petromyzon, example for the Cyclostomata is petromyzon, commonly known as lamprey. One more is myxin, commonly known as hagfish. So here the organisms are ectoparasite. They bear circular and sucking type of mouth. The notochord is persistent. They devoid of pair fins and scales, and circulation is closed type. The adult are migrate to the freshwater body for the spawning. After the spawning, the organisms dies. The larvas and all, after formation, the larvas will come back to the marine forms. So here one more character I must say here, the cranium and vertebral column. So cranium means what, my dear students? Cranium is which is nothing but which protects the brain, and vertebral column a backbone. So these cranium and vertebral column, it is of cartilaginous cartilaginous type of cranium and vertebral column possess these class cyclostomata organisms. These organisms have cranium and vertebral column in the form of cartilage. Okay, so we'll go to the next class, which is that class Chondritis. The class Chondritis belongs to the division Gnathostomata. Superclass is Pisces and class is Chondritis. The example for Chondritis class are as follows. So subphylum is Vertebrata. Phylum is Chordata. Division is Gnathostomata. Superclass Pisces. Class Chondritis. So we are talking about the class Chondritis. Examples are Scoliodon, commonly known as dogfish, Pristis, commonly known as sawfish, Carcharodon, commonly known as great white shark, and trigon, is the trigon possesses electric organ, commonly known as stingray. Trigon. One more is there, torpedo, which bear the electric organ. Electric organ. So all these are known as the examples of class Chondritis. So you might have know the descriptive characters of shark. So how the shark looks. So they possess somewhat the body will be like this, and they bear fins, and mouth is present at the ventral position, and they have streamlined body and eye and gills. So don't copy that, just for the reference I am drawing the diagram. Scoliodon. So when I write the descriptive characters, I'll tell you. So I have drawn the diagram, that's why I am explaining here. Just observe this. These are known as gill slits. These gill slits are not covered by an operculum. Okay, so when your parents bring the fishes, you might have seen the fishes, right? So the fishes at the anterior position, they do have some not completely closed covers. So partially opened covers will be there. No, on this side. So those are known as operculum, which covers the gill slits. Gill slits are meant for respiration. So those are the feature present in freshwater body, freshwater fishes. But here this shark, so in this type of fishes, the gill slits are open type means which is not enveloped by operculum, and also the fish mouth will be present at the lower side or on the ventral surface, and it bears a streamline on the body. It has a line. That line is for what is that, also it acts as a sense organ. It can identify, it can sense those who are passing through that animal, so that it can escape from the animal. If the animal is suitable for eating purpose, it can capture that purpose by sensing the other animals. And at this position it has a pelvic fin. That pelvic fins possess claspers. Those claspers are the feature, the very important one organ. It is those organs are meant for releasing the male gametes. That claspers will be present only in male fishes, not in the females one. So we'll start the descriptive characters now. They are marine forms. The endoskeleton is cartilaginous. Endoskeleton is cartilaginous means, so endoskeleton inside the body, it got a skeleton, endoskeleton. That endoskeleton is made of, or it is of cartilaginous type. Mouth is present at ventral position. And gill slits are for respiration and not enveloped by operculum. And the skin is tough. So it bear a minute microscopic placoid scales. So skin is tough compared to fresh waters. The chondritis fishes, chondritis organisms got a tough skin which possess a minute microscopic placoid scales. What type of scales they bear? They bear placoid type of scales. And teeth are modified scales. So earlier the scales, only scales were present, but later on when it when it start capturing the animals, those scales modified into teeth. Teeth are backward directed, and these animals are predaceous, going to harm other animals, going to engulf other animals. So predaceous, these are predaceous one. And Heart is two-chambered. One is auricle and one is ventricle. They bear a special organ known as electric organ. The fishes which bear electric organ, those are known as torpedo, and some of them possess poison sting. Poison sting. Stingray. The trigon is the fish which possess a poisonous sting. If the fish sting by its organ, the poison releases from the sting and the animal which got bitten by this trigon it will definitely going to die. And torpedo is the fish which is having a special organ known as electric organ. So the next is they are cold blooded animals. Cold blooded animals, the better word for the cold blooded animal is poikilotherms. They are poikilotherms. They are not going to compensate with the hot temperature. They got cold blooded body temperature. So the next one is air bladder is absent. Air bladder, if you have cut the fish, if you have taken out all the internal organs of fish, you might have seen the structure which is filled by air. I am talking about the freshwater bodies, freshwater fishes, the eatable ones. So if you find the bladder, like the air filled bladder organ, so that is surely an air bladder. Okay, so those type of air bladders are absent in class Chondritis. Due to the absence of air bladder in such class Chondritis animals, they should continuously swim inside the water body. They cannot sink or they cannot sit on the surface of sit on the underwater. They have to continuously swim. If they do not swim, they will sink. So next is air bladder is absent. The fertilization is internal. The fertilization is internal and they are viviparous animals. Internal fertilization takes place. They are going to give birth to young ones. They are viviparous animals. So these are all the distinctive characters or salient features of class Cyclostomata. They got the examples like Scoliodon, commonly known as dogfish, Pristis, commonly known as sawfish, Carcharodon, commonly known as great white shark, Trigon, commonly known as stingray, torpedo, commonly known as having electric organ fish. So the next characteristic features are they are marine forms. They got endoskeleton, cartilaginous endoskeleton, mouth is present at the ventral surface, gill slits are for respiration and they are not covered by operculum, skin is tough and it possesses minute microscopic placoid scales, teeth are present which is very powerful. If it holds any kind of organism or animal, this animal cannot escape from the prey, from the host. So teeth are very powerful and they are modified scales and which is backwardly directed, and these animals are predaceous one. Heart is only of two chambered. One chamber is auricle and one more chamber is only ventricle. How many chambers do our heart possess? Our heart possess four chambers, two auricles, two ventricles. They got electric organs and also they got some poisonous stings. They are known as cold-blooded animals, or it is also known as poikilotherms, in sense they are not going to compensate, they are not going to tolerate the high temperature atmosphere. The air bladder is absent. Due to the absence of air bladder, they have to continuously swim throughout the life. Fertilization is internal. Viviparous, they are viviparous animals. The pelvic fin possess claspers. These claspers are present only in male fishes. Okay. So the next thing is we'll start discussing about the class Osteichthyes. The class Osteichthyes comes under the superclass Pisces. Examples are as follows. Exocetus, hippocampus, catla. Next is labio, so these are all the examples of class Osteichthyes. These two are the marine forms. Exocetus or flying fish and hippocampus, seahorse, are found in marine water body. Catla, Labio, Clarius, these three are the freshwater bodies, and Betta, Catla commonly known as Catla, Labio commonly known as Rohu, Clarius commonly known as Magur. These three are freshwater organisms and these three are marine forms, and they both comes under aquarium fishes. So you might have seen the fighting fish commonly known as betta, and angelfish commonly known as pterophyllum. Okay, So how it looks? Only I'm drawing one structure of what? So we have one fish. The name of the fish is Catla. So externally, I will explain the features because I'm going to erase this diagram. That's why I'll write when I write the descriptive features again. I'll explain it. Okay. So the mouth is at terminal position and gills are covered by operculum and they have microscopic ctenoid or cycloid scales and it has a streamlined body. It is known as a streamlined body. Okay. So that's all about the features. When we see the fish, we can only tell these features. So we'll start writing the salient features or descriptive features of class Osteichthyes. They are available in fresh and marine water and endoskeleton is bony. Next is endoskeleton is bony and mouth is present at terminal position. They got ctenoid or cycloid scales. All right. Heart is two chambered. One is auricle and one more is ventricle. They too are cold blooded fishes or poikilothons. Next is air bladder is present. The next is gill slits are covered by operculum. Fertilization is external. Development is direct and they are oviparous animals. So all these are known as the features of Osteichthyes. So one more point you add here, streamlined body. Streamlined body in sense the body has a line which is going to sense the animals who is going to capture that fish or which is a suitable one for eating purpose. So we'll start from the habitat of osteichthyes. They are available in fresh and marine water. The endoskeleton is bony type, but in the chondritis it was a cartilaginous. They got streamlined body. Mouth is present at the terminal position. They got ctenoid or cycloid scales on the body. It has a macroscopic scales. Heart is of two chambered. One is auricle and one more is ventricle. They have they are known as cold blooded fishes, poikilotherms, and air bladder is present. Now here air bladder is present. It means what? If they do not swim, they are not going to sink, they are not going to die. Need not to swim all of throughout the life because of the presence of air bladder. If they are going to sink also, they are not going to die. Gill slits are covered by operculum. Fertilization is external. So here they are going to release the eggs inside outside the body, and on the eggs the male fishes going to release the male gametes, and outside the body the fertilization takes place. After the fertilization, the development is of direct type. No, there will be not having any larval stage and all. Directly they'll come to the position, the feature of parent body, not the larval one. They are known as oviparous animals because they are going to lay eggs. Now we will have the what is that differentiation feature of these two. The chondritis and osteichthyes, most in the cases the board used to ask the differentiation feature of chondritis and osteichthyes. The chondritis and osteichthyes, it has maximum differentiation features that you have to write. If they ask in the examination, you have to write. So here you can pick one differentiation feature. In the chondritis, endoskeleton is cartilaginous, but in the osteichthyes, endoskeleton is bony. In the chondritis, mouth is ventral position. In the osteichthyes, mouth is terminal position. In the chondritis, cycloid scales are of placoid type, but here it is of ctenoid type. Heart is two chambered. Don't write the similar character. Air bladder is present in the osteichthyes. There in the chondritis, air bladder is absent. Gill slits are covered by operculum in the osteichthyes, but there gill slits are naked. Fertilization is external in the osteichthyes, but in the chondritis fertilization is internal, and they are oviparous animals. The chondritis are viviparous animals. So streamlined body, that too have a streamline on the body. So don't write the similar character. What you have to do, you have to show me the differentiation features of these two classes. Okay, so if you have any doubts, ask me. Thank you.